A long, long time ago, in a land far away, there lived a man named Jonah. Jonah loved God very much and tried to do what was right. One day, God spoke to Jonah. He gave Jonah a very important job. In the Bible, in Jonah 1:1-2, it says, "The word of the Lord came to Jonah, son of Amittai. Go to the great city of Nineveh and preach against it, because its wickedness has come up before me." God wanted Jonah to go to Nineveh, a big city where people were doing very bad things. They were hurting each other and ignoring God. God wanted Jonah to tell the people that they needed to stop being mean and start doing good things, or else bad things would happen to them. Instead of obeying God, Jonah decided to run away. He thought he could hide from God, but can anyone really hide from God? The answer is no. Jonah went down to a place called Joppa and found a ship that was going far away to a city called Tarshish. He paid for a ticket and got on board, hoping that he could escape God's plan. Jonah 1:3. But Jonah ran away from the Lord and headed for Tarshish. He went down to Joppa, where he found a ship bound for that port. Jonah went deep inside the ship and fell fast asleep, but God had other plans. But Jonah was afraid. He didn't like the people of Nineveh. He thought they were too bad to be forgiven. He didn't want to go at all. While Jonah was sleeping, God sent a huge storm. The winds blew hard, the waves crashed against the boat, and the ship almost broke apart. The sailors were so scared. They cried out to their gods and threw cargo overboard to make the ship lighter. But the storm kept getting worse. The captain found Jonah sleeping and shouted, "How can you sleep? Get up and pray to your God. Maybe he will help us." Jonah 1:6. The sailors decided to cast lots, kind of like drawing straws, to find out who was causing all the trouble. When they did, the lot fell on Jonah. Jonah 1:7. They asked Jonah, "Who are you? What have you done?" Jonah told them that he worshiped the Lord, the God who made the sea and the land. He also admitted that he was running away from God. Jonah told them, "Pick me up and throw me into the sea, and it will become calm." Jonah 1:12. At first, the sailors didn't want to do that. They tried to row back to land, but the storm only got worse. Finally, they prayed to God and threw Jonah into the sea. As soon as they did, the storm stopped. The sailors were amazed. They praised God and made promises to serve him. Now you might think that Jonah would drown, but God had a special plan to save him. Jonah 1:17 says, "Now the Lord provided a huge fish to swallow Jonah, and Jonah was in the belly of the fish 3 days and 3 nights." God sent a huge fish, maybe it was a giant whale, to swallow Jonah. Jonah was inside the belly of the fish for 3 days and 3 nights. Can you imagine being inside a fish? It must have been dark, wet, slimy, and very smelly. But inside the fish, Jonah prayed. He realized he had made a mistake by running away from God. He told God he was sorry. In Jonah 2:1-2, Jonah prayed, "In my distress I called to the Lord, and he answered me. From deep in the realm of the dead I called for help, and you listened to my cry." Jonah thanked God for saving his life. He promised to obey him from now on. After 3 days, God commanded the fish to spit Jonah out onto dry land. Jonah 2:10. And the Lord commanded the fish, and it vomited Jonah onto dry land. Imagine Jonah lying on the sand, covered in seaweed and smelling like fish, but he was alive, and he was grateful. Then God spoke to Jonah again. Jonah 3:1-2. Then the word of the Lord came to Jonah a second time. "Go to the great city of Nineveh and proclaim to it the message I give you." This time, Jonah obeyed. He got up and went straight to Nineveh. When Jonah arrived at Nineveh, he saw that it was a huge city. It took 3 days just to walk across it. Jonah 3:3. Jonah walked through the city shouting, 40 more days and Nineveh will be destroyed." Jonah 3:4. The people of Nineveh listened to Jonah. They believed his message and realized they had been doing wrong things. They decided to change their ways. The king of Nineveh heard about Jonah's message too. He got off his throne, took off his fancy clothes, and put on rough sackcloth to show he was sorry. He even sat in ashes to show how sad he was. The king made a law that everyone, even the animals, had to fast, stop eating, and pray to God asking for forgiveness. Jonah 3:5-9. God forgives Nineveh. God saw that the people of Nineveh had truly changed their hearts. They had stopped doing bad things and started trying to do what was right. Jonah 3:10 says, "When God saw what they did and how they turned from their evil ways, he relented and did not bring on them the destruction he had threatened. God forgave the people of Nineveh and did not destroy the city. You would think Jonah would be happy, right? But he wasn't. Jonah was upset that God forgave the people. He wanted them to be punished because he thought they didn't deserve mercy. Jonah went outside the city and sat down. He made a little shelter and waited to see what would happen to Nineveh. God made a plant grow up quickly to give Jonah shade. Jonah was happy about the plant. But the next day, God sent a worm that ate the plant, and it withered. Then God sent a hot wind, and Jonah got very hot and grumpy. Jonah 4:6-8. Jonah said, "It would be better for me to die than to live." But God spoke to Jonah and taught him an important lesson. God said, "You are upset about a plant that you didn't grow. Shouldn't I be concerned about the great city of Nineveh, where there are more than 120,000 people who don't know right from wrong, and many animals too?" Jonah 4:10-11. God was teaching Jonah and all of us that he loves everyone and wants everyone to have a chance to change and be forgiven. What we learn from Jonah's story. You can't run away from God. Jonah 1:3. God always listens when we pray. Jonah 2:1-2. Everyone deserves a second chance. Jonah 3:1-2. God is full of love and forgiveness. Jonah 4:10-11. We should be happy when others are forgiven, not angry. Just like Jonah, sometimes we don't want to do hard things, but God is always with us. He forgives us when we make mistakes, and he wants us to share his love with others. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment. See you on the next one. God bless you.